This is Jay Dumont, aka Next Level Nerd, aka Mr. Dumont's RPG Neighborhood, bringing you an epic undertaking in 4K. So this is going to be a Pathfinder Kingmaker Let's Play. Now before I start, I want to go over a few things. I'm going to be very thorough in this Let's Play. I'll be playing on Challenging. I recently played the game according to Steam for 123 hours and pretty much failed miserably in terms of building characters properly and that sort of thing. But I think I have enough knowledge now that I can create a decent character. I know a little bit of the Pathfinder system. Be prepared for a slow and methodical Let's Play in which I ponder leveling up and which spells and abilities to take and stuff like that, skills. So it's going to be a lot of reading. If you're prepared for that, strap in. Got a delicious coffee here. So let's just jump into a new game. We're going to be playing on Challenging with a few minor tweaks. I'm going to do Death's Door because if they suffer a deadly injury, rather than being killed outright, this will put them at Death's Door, and then if they get killed again, it's like a second chance. So we'll put that on. I'm going to play with somewhat tougher enemies because that is what Challenging mode suggests. It says your character will suffer full damage from enemies and traps. Enemies will fight at full power and will have the usual chances of inflicting critical hits. Your character will die after suffering a deadly injury, which we're going to kind of mitigate that with Death's Door, but it's still going to be tough. For Kingdom Management, I'm going to start at normal. Kingdom Management is very hard too, at least it was for me, but I kind of know what I'm doing now. 1-to-1 damage to party, normal enemy difficulty. So let's just jump right in. We're going to create a new character. I already have an idea of the character I would like to be. These are custom portraits thanks to the mod that was introduced. You can find that on the Steam forums. Thank you to the modder who put these pictures in. I was thinking of being this character because I want to be an Aasimar. Or is it pronounced Aasimar? Aasimar? Now this looks like a sorcerer type, but I'm actually going to be an archaeologist, so what do these do? Alright, we're going to be an Aasimar and check out what the Aasimar race has. So they have a heritage. Most Aasimars do not know exactly where their celestial powers came from, and the similar qualities of many such celestial touch beings hint at a relatively indistinct or all-encompassing heavenly force in their lineage. Some, however, possess more unique traits and abilities inherited from their supernal forebears, attributes that hint at the precise type of celestial being that affected their ancestors. So we are celestial. This light halo is pretty cool because it acts as a torch in dungeons. It also gives a +2 circumstance bonus on saving throws against being blinded or dazzled. And we have acid resistance, cold resistance, and electricity resistance 5. So read this little blurb here. Aasimars are human with a significant amount of celestial other good outsider blood in their ancestry. While not always benevolent, Aasimars are more inclined toward acts of kindness rather than evil. Aasimar heritage can lie dormant for generations only to appear suddenly in the child of two apparently human parents. Most societies interpret Aasimar births as good omens, though it must be acknowledged that some Aasimars take advantage of the reputation of their kind, brutally subverting the expectations of others with acts of terrifying cruelty or abject venality. Aasimars look mostly human except for some minor physical trait that reveals their unusual heritage. Typically, Aasimar features are hair that shines like metal, unusual eye or skin color, or others. So we're going to try to match the portrait here. I think that's the hairstyle we're going to rock with. Skin tone needs to be a bit lighter. I think that matches the portrait pretty well. Body type, we're going to be skinny guy. And the face, I think face 2. Maybe face 4. Let's go with face 4. Going to be a right-handed male character. Alright, so for class, rather than going through every one of these, you know, you can do that on your own time if you have the game. I'm going to be a bard. I'm going to be an archaeologist, so no... Let's see if I can get the... Alright, no stodgy researcher. This archaeologist meets his research head-on in the field. Archaeologists sacrifice the bard's inspirational performance for a smattering of rogue talents. So that's pretty cool. We start with a base of 2 will, 2 reflex saving throws, a level 1 spell. We've got bard proficiencies. A bard is proficient with all simple weapons plus the longsword, rapier, short sword, and short bow. Bards are also proficient with light armor and shields, except tower shields. A bard can cast spells while wearing light armor and using a shield without incurring the normal arcane spell failure chance. Like any other arcane spellcaster, a bard wearing medium or heavy armor incurs a chance of arcane spell failure. A multi-class bard still incurs the normal arcane spell failure chance for arcane spells received from other classes. So we have to be careful about wearing armor. What is this? Can I... Oh, I can change the colors. Cool, so let's... I didn't realize that. Main color would be gold, secondary color would be gold to match the portrait. We have cantrips, 0 level spells. They're cast like any other spell, but they're not expended and they may be used again. You can keep spamming them if you want. A bard adds half his class level, minimum of 1, to all knowledge and lore skill checks and may make all knowledge and lore skill checks untrained. He can detect magic, which detects magical auras of active spells or artifacts, or of those that were active recently. Can identify the school of magic to which the spell belongs, and it's used in dialogue. Finally, Fortune favors the archaeologist. As a swift action, an archaeologist can call on Fortune's favor, giving him a +1 luck bonus on attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and weapon damage rolls. He can use this ability for a number of rounds per day equal to 4 plus his charisma modifier. At each level up to first, an archaeologist can use archaeologist luck for 2 additional rounds. Maintaining this bonus is a free action, but it ends immediately if the archaeologist is killed, paralyzed, stunned, knocked unconscious, or otherwise prevented from taking a free action to maintain it each round. Archaeologist luck is treated as bardic performance for the purpose of feats, abilities, and effects, and like that affect bardic performance. Like bardic performance, it cannot be maintained at the same time as other performance abilities. The bonus increases to 2 at 5th level, 3 at 11th, and 4 at 17th. He's got a lot of class skills, so let's just go ahead and rock it. And you can see as we level up, we're going to be getting some new interesting things. Now here's where you choose your Aasimar heritage. So I'm going to be Angelkin, I believe, rather than going through every one of these. Angelkin are mortal paragons of exceptional beauty, and they serve as exemplars of good and light, regardless of the myriad forms they may take. Angel-blooded Aasimars have a +2 racial to strength and charisma, +2 racial bonus on lore, religion, and use magic device checks, and can use lesser restoration spell once per day. The reason I'm going to be that is for the +2 strength and the +2 charisma. So charisma handles my spells, and I'm going to want to get in there with like a long sword and have some strength, have some constitution, a little more strength, and a lot of intelligence for more skill points to spend. So I'm not going to be min-maxing, but I am going to be trying to build the best character I possibly can, given my somewhat limited knowledge of Pathfinder. I think this is a pretty decent character. I don't want to lose will saves, so I don't want to turn my wisdom down. Dexterity, I don't want to turn my AC down too much. So what if I do something like that? So if you see, if I hover over them, see how ranged attacks, initiative, AC, touch, that highlights. So that's a cool tool tip showing you what each stat governs. So I think this is pretty good. I do. We want that armor class. We want the strength to get the +3 to melee attacks. We want the constitution so he can survive in combat. Maybe something like that's a bit better. And we've got some good modifiers. So for our class skills here, we're going to choose the class skills. We're going to get persuasion, use magic device so he can use wands and stuff, perception, lore religion, which is his angel kin and bardic knowledge abilities. Now it says they can leave them untrained, so I'm not sure what that actually entails. So let's look at each one of these. I'm thinking mobility. Skill represents a character's talent for balance and coordination, including aerial maneuvers, gymnastics, and tumbling. Your character's mobility skill enables you to move near opponents without provoking attacks of opportunity, keep your balance, escape from restraints, break your falls, squeeze through tight spots, and so on. So as an archaeologist, I think that's pretty important. Knowledge Arcana, pretty self-explanatory. This skill represents a character's knowledge about spells, magic items, and numerous bits of magical lore. Your character's Arcana knowledge skill enables you to identify magic items and monsters, such as constructs, dragons, and magical beasts, learn or borrow spells from spellbooks and scrolls, and recall knowledge about Arcana. Religious lore. We get a bonus from our racial, being Angelkin. This skill represents a character's knowledge about the secrets of deities, holy lore, and extraplanar realms. Your lore religion skill is useful to identify monsters, outsiders, and undead, recall knowledge about the planes of religions, etc. And a lot of these are used in skill checks, so perception. Represents a character's acuity, which enables them to notice fine details, see danger coming, and tell when people are lying or otherwise behaving suspiciously. Your character's perception skill enables you to read secret messages, get hunches, notice creatures and details, search locations, sense motives, and so on. We want to be persuasive. Represents a character's ability to manipulate other people through negotiation, deceit, or intimidation. Your character's persuasion skills enables you to change others' attitudes, create diversions, gather info, intimidate and lie, and so on. And use magic device. Represents a character's ability to activate magic items even if you're not otherwise trained in their use. Your character's use magic device skill enables you to activate wands and scrolls you'd normally be unable to use, equip magic items that you would normally be prohibited from equipping, and avoid the negative consequences of using dangerous magical and cursed items. So I think this is pretty good. I don't know about mobility though. Thinking about stealth. These are all class skills. So since an archaeologist is a bard/rogue, this skill represents a character's ability to avoid detection, allowing the character to slip past foes or strike from an unseen position. Covers hiding and moving silently. It enables you to avoid being noticed. So we can make sneak attacks as a bard/rogue, I believe. Let me... A second level of Bard gains a rogue talent as the rogue class feature of the same name. So we will be able to sneak attack. So first, let me go back here. This is what we're going to be rolling with here. I think it's pretty decent. And I'll get into the other stats as we get into the game and talk about it more. So I kind of want him... I think arcane armor training is going to be a good boost, because I want him in medium armor, not light. And in order to do that, I want to reduce the arcane spell failure due to the armor you're wearing by 10%. But then again, I don't think he can wear medium armor. Let me head back to the Bard proficiencies. Proficient with light armor and shields. Like any other arcane spellcaster, a bard wearing medium or heavy armor incurs a chance of arcane spell failure. So that doesn't tell me if he has the ability to wear armor. He's proficient with light armor, but maybe I should make medium armor. And let's start with that. So hopefully the medium armor doesn't have too much of an arcane fail chance. So let's see here. For spells, I'm going to try to be very clever about it. We're going to start with sleep. All enemies within a 10-foot burst centered on target creature within medium range, 1 minute per level. A will negate. So that's important because the fortitude spells, you generally want to put to sleep the tough fighters at the front line, like the fighter classes. So they usually have low will and high fortitude, so will negates this. So this could put the frontline fighters to sleep if they have low will saving throws. A sleep spell causes a magical slumber to come upon 4 hit dice of creatures, and those who are closest to the spell's point of origin are affected first. Hit dice that are not sufficient to affect a creature are wasted. Sleeping creatures are helpless. Wounding awakens an affected creature, but normal noise does not. Sleep does not target unconscious creatures, constructs, or undead. So I'm going to roll with sleep, because that's generally a recommended first level spell. And how about hideous laughter? This spell inflicts the subject with uncontrollable laughter. It collapses into gales of manic laughter, falling prone. The subject can take no actions while laughing, but it's considered helpless. After the spell ends, it can act normally. On the creature's next turn, it may attempt a new saving throw to end the effect. 1 round per level can save each round. I've got sleep. Summons an extra planar dog. It appears where you designate and acts according to its initiative check results. It attacks your opponents 1 round per level. When laying your hand upon a living creature, you channel positive energy that cures 1d8 points of damage plus 1 per the caster level. Since undead are powered by negative energy, this spell deals damage to them instead of curing their wounds. I think we're going to roll with that. Now let's try hypnotism. Because this attacks all enemies within a 30-foot burst centered on a target within close range, 2d4 rounds. Your gestures and droning incantation fascinate nearby living creatures, causing them to stop and stare blankly at you in a dazed condition. Roll 2d4 to see how many total hit dice of creatures you affect. So that kind of goes with sleep. But maybe now I shouldn't get sleep. I should start with hypnotism. Maybe get another enchantment spell. Let's go with hideous laughter. So I want to try to focus maybe on the enchantment school later on. Spell afflicts the subject with uncontrollable laughter. It collapses into gales of manic laughter, falling prone. The subject can take no actions while laughing. After the spell ends, it can act normally. On the creature's next turn, it may attempt a new saving throw to end the effect. So we've got something that targets a lot of people, and then something that targets one character. Let's go ahead. I think we're going to be reserved.
I feel faint. I failed.
My skills exceed yours. Everyone counts on me.
Oh, confident.
A mere flesh wound. I have no use for this. This will hurt! I'm always ready. I'll take care of it.
The path is clear.
Let's
Enemy
go
near.
with reserved. And his name is going to be Asirius. He's a serious character. Be born on Desnus IV, and he's going to be chaotic good, so alignment matters. Creature's overall moral and personal attitudes are represented by its alignment. Good characters protect innocent life, evil characters debase or destroy it, whether for fun or profit. Lawful characters tell the truth, keep their word, respect authority, honor tradition, and judge those who fall short of their duties. Chaotic characters follow their consciences, resent being told what to do, favor new ideas over tradition, and keep their promises only if they feel like it. Alright, so here we go. I think we've looked at all of this. We have fighting defensively. You can choose to take a -4 penalty on melee attack rolls and combat maneuver checks to gain a +2 dodge bonus to your armor class. If you have 3 or more ranks in mobility, you gain a +3 dodge bonus to armor class when fighting defensively instead. We are proficient with medium armor, which I believe I took as a feat. Let's look at the spells again. Our cantrips, we have Daze. Spell clouds the mind of a humanoid creature with 4 or fewer hit dice, so it takes no actions. Humanoids of 5 or more hit dice are not affected. 1 minute resistance. You imbue the subject with a magical energy that protects it from harm, granting it a +1 resistance bonus on saves. You can do a flare that lasts for 1 minute. Creates a burst of light. If you cause the light to burst in front of a single creature, the creature is dazzled for a round, unless it makes a successful fortitude save, and that's a fortitude saving throw. And then light, 10 minutes per level, causes a touch party member to glow like a torch, shedding normal light in a 20-foot radius from the point touch. So the halo and this light spell on our character at the front of the formation will help a lot. But since we have Daze, I don't know if we need Hideous Laughter. Let's try Remove Fear. It's Abjuration though. Negative emotions, crushing with fear effects, or that would force them to harm an ally. Only for 1 round. I do want to focus on enchantment. I don't think that's going to be possible. Alright, so we're just going to go full out. We can daze, we can hypnotize, we can cause hideous laughter. That's pretty good. Alright, so here's our character. Looking pretty good. Let's get right into it. Pardon me while I smoke a cigarette. There may be pauses while I'm taking a puff.
Our story started at the mansion of an Aldori sword lord. Drawn by the promise of a most dangerous task and a commensurately huge reward, heroes of all stripes gathered here.
Heroes of all stripes.
Where are they? This is taking forever! You didn't even say what this was for, just at the Aldori. We're looking for heroes. Who are the Aldori anyway? Rich folk?
If you can't be patient, no one's keeping you here. Just go back to your mountains or whatever hole you crawled out of. The Aldori Sword Lords run the premier school for the dueling arts. They're also the richest and most influential group in this part of Brevoy. Take that tone with them, and they'll teach you some manners pretty quickly.
So some of these words you can scroll over to see what they mean. So the Aldori Sword Lords arose when famed swordsman Baron Syrian Aldori agreed to train a select group of pupils in his dueling techniques. They ruled Rossland for generations, each as prickly and impulsive as the Order's founder. Though they're considered some of the finest sword fighters in the Inner Sea region, they are also obsessed with personal standing and honor. And Brevoy is a relatively young nation, having only existed since 4499 AR. The history of Brevoy before this time is the history of two often warring nations, Isia and Rossland. And we learned that Rossland is controlled by the Aldori Sword Lords. The coming of Coral the Conqueror changed all this. After securing the defeat and surrender of the two nations, Coral christened his family House Rogarvia. Its rule ended with the mysterious disappearance of every member of House Rogarvia in 4699, 200 years later, after leaving Brevoy in a precarious political position.
All right, you purple toad, just shut your trap. And if you can't, I'll help you.
Hush! Quiet! They're coming.
There's going to be a lot of reading. Get ready for it. Prepare your minds, your soul, and your body.
Greetings, everyone. I am Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, and this is Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius of Restov. Welcome to my mansion.
Alright, so Restov is one of the two largest cities in the fertile regions of Rossland and southern Brevoy. Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius leads the city, which is a trade and cultural center that borders the river kingdoms, the Shrike River, and the Stolen Lands. As the birthplace of the Aldori dueling style, the city boasts several Aldori and Taldan dueling schools, which has led to the city being a favored place for young nobles to practice dueling championships. Most prominent among them is Aldori Academy, widely regarded as the nation's finest war college.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for responding to our call. You may be few, but that's unavoidable. We need only the best of the best for this task. And I see true heroes before me, strong and fearless, exactly what Restov needs.
And the mayor is a middle-aged man with bushy sideburns and a monocle, wearing a beaming smile.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Now, to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Lands. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, it's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the Stolen Lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighboring states would be able to challenge it. Of course, Restov would be first to recognize the legitimacy of this new state, as well as the noble title of its founder.
So we have to rescue the Stolen Lands, are an almost wholly unsettled region in the northeastern section of the River Kingdoms, bordering the nation of Brevoy and serving as a buffer between Brevoy and the River Kingdoms. Traditionally the haunt of bandits and monstrous humanoids, the Stolen Lands are regarded as stolen by all nations along the border, even though none have ever been able to keep these realms under their control for long.
Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the Stolen Lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?
There's a whole team of us. Who exactly will receive the Baron's title?
I will, of course. I'm the leader of this team, after all. Don't worry, though. I'll make it worth your while to help.
We haven't yet begun, and you already speak of divvying rewards. What makes you think we'll even succeed? There's little point arguing over who gains the title when we'll most likely lose our lives there.
Oh, harem.
If I may please answer the question.
She takes a long pause, waiting for the voices to die down as everyone directs their attention toward her.
We believe you're all equally deserving of a noble title. Over the course of your expedition, it will be up to you as a team to decide which of you is best suited to rule.
Why not just recognize the Stag Lord as Baron?
That's a good point. As I see it, this Stag Lord already holds power over the region with confidence. Many noble bloodlines were started by bandits who just got lucky, weren't they?
Perhaps because we do have standards to maintain. This room has seen many celebrations of adventurers, and even those who just got lucky. But giving a noble title to a bandit lord? And that's one thing that's never happened here, and it won't while I still breathe.
You're helping us found a barony? What do you gain from such generosity?
Don't ask stupid questions. Why should you even care? What they have to gain and why, that's for Lady Aldori and I to discuss. It's none of your concern. Your only concern is to swing your sword around, or whatever it is you do.
Of course, we stand to benefit from this enterprise. But if you're concerned that we intend to rule your country from afar, using you as a front, well, please know that these concerns are unfounded. Let's just say that we have a strong interest in the region's stability. We have need of a ruling power we can negotiate with, not bandit gangs and monster hordes.
So, I'm thinking my first feat should have been combat mobility, or combat casting, so I can cast in melee without getting an attack of opportunity. So I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt. What rewards can we expect exactly?
And what reward would you seek beyond a noble title and your own lands?
We'll absorb the costs of preparing and equipping your expeditions. Once you return victorious, Restov will also allocate you a significant sum to provide financial support for you to establish your country. Essentially, we'll help you build your capital. I hope such a reward is satisfactory.
Words, words, words. Significant, financial. I can't fill my belly with pretty words.
Of course. There will also be an official banquet held in your honor. All of Rostov's high society will gather to celebrate your feat.
Excellent.
Now you're talking.
It's as clear as day.
Excellent. You venture forth tomorrow. For now, you can take some time to get to know one another better. Or you can head straight to your guest rooms to get some rest. You'll find we've already prepared supplies for you there. And thank you again for agreeing to take part in this expedition. I wish you luck.
Thank you again, with all my heart, for replying to this call. The flare in your eyes reveals your courage, the unshakable will that distinguishes true heroes. I look at you, O champions of Restov, and doubt not for a second that you'll be victorious. So venture forth toward your feet, go, and return in triumph.
Maybe the medium armor will protect me from those
Hi,
attacks of
my name's
opportunity.
Lindsay. I'm a bard, though this is my first real adventure. So, shall we go teach this Stag Lord a lesson?
We sure will. Just wait, we've got plenty of feats in store.
I have no doubt. Kind of related, I wanted to ask you something. How do you feel about this Tartuccio fellow? I think he's pretty obnoxious personally. He appointed himself head of the team, and he's just after the Baron's crown, or whatever it is Barons wear. Doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think you should be team leader. When I first saw you, I couldn't help but think, now here's a real hero. Someone who'll be praised in poems and songs. This is the person I'll write my book about.
Wait, a book?
Damn, I should have led with that. Please, just let me explain. You know what the trouble with most heroes' biographies is? They're always written years later, based on the tales of, best case, people who saw things from the outside. Worst case, someone heard about it from their brother, who heard it from their friend, who heard it from their cousin, and so on, adding a new batch of lies each time. Every time I read read about a heroic journey, I think to myself, why didn't they just bring a bard with them to write it all down properly? And then I thought, I could be that bard. I just needed to find a suitable hero and volunteer to follow along on their glorious adventure. A great plan, huh? And here we are, with a heroic journey lying before us. Who's going to be the hero? Some dwarf who keeps muttering about how we'll all die? Or maybe that horrific scythe lady? Or, God's forbid, Tartuccio? No way.
Not a bad plan. It's settled then. I'll accomplish the feats and you'll write them down.
Deal. All right. I'm going to my room to write about tonight. See you in the morning.
So long, Lindsay. Alright, so let's get to know some people around here. Tomorrow our glorious journey begins. Are you ready? I hope so. I don't need layabouts on my team. Finally, the idle talk's over. Can't wait to set out. A large map of Brevoy and its surroundings dotted with numerous cryptic marks and notes. Get some rest before the road. You have a difficult journey before you. Keston? I'll double the guard for the night, just as a precaution. Jaethal, you horrible scythe lady. What game is Jamandi playing? I'm not used to feeling like a pawn. Harem? The expedition is surely doomed. I guess that's everyone. So I will be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom. BRB. Alright, and we're back. Got a fresh cup of coffee. So we're just going to go to the sleeping quarters. This is the area exit. Do a little quick save here. True dragons can live up to 1,000 years or more, becoming more powerful with each year's passing. Usually elder dragon basically means more dangerous dragon. And I haven't seen a dragon yet.
Help! Help!
She looks scared and her face is smeared with soot and holds a weapon in her hands. What's going on?
The mansion's under attack. We need to help. Some villains broke in and started killing everyone. I barely made it. Hurry, we have to help the guards fight off the attackers or we'll all be cut down one by one.
As if to lend credence to Lindsay's word, a scream echoes from the hallway. Uh-oh, here comes our first battle. You're not going anywhere. Alright, so I guess we'll look at this. Combat happens in real time, but you can pause the game at any time to assess the situation and give orders to your companions. To pause or unpause, press space. Click on an opponent to attack them. Most of the game's mechanics are based on the Pathfinder role-playing game system and use dice rolls to determine the result of actions. The most common die has 20 sides and is used for both checks and attacks. When a battle starts, each combatant makes an initiative check. The higher the initiative, the earlier the character can act. Initiative scores can be viewed in the combat log. Combat's divided into rounds, with each round lasting 6 seconds. Attack roll. The attack of a character is attempted to strike an opponent. The result of an attack roll depends on many factors: wielded weapons, the combatant's abilities, etc. An attack succeeds if the result of an attack roll equals or exceeds the target's armor class. The amount of damage dealt in the case of a successful attack depends on the weapon's stats and other factors, such as buff spells. Attack roll results and damage numbers can be found in the combat log. The higher a character's armor class, the more difficult it is to successfully attack them. It combines many factors such as equipment stats, dexterity bonus, passive abilities, etc. Alright, so I will get out my melee here. And let's see if I can make him laugh hideously.
So
Beautiful. Laughing
son of
hideously.
blast.
Attack him now while he's laughing. Boom! Dead. So that was a good first encounter. You can act with various objects such as the bodies of dead opponents, clicking them. Interactive objects are highlighted when you hover your mouse over them when you hold tab. Alright, so let's take this chain shirt. Let's see, I'm in leather armor. The comparison would be armor class 4. 20 arcane spell failure though. But he doesn't have that while wearing light armor, so I don't even know if I should have taken the medium proficiency perk, but here we are. The assassins are already here. Follow me, quickly.
I'll go ahead.
Lindsay's journal contains your current quests and tasks. When their status change, you'll also see a notification on the main screen. Blah, blah, blah. They got someone. We have to help. Look at them. They're running. Get them. What shall I do with this one? We'll finish him later. He won't get away.
Enemy near.
Alright, so let's try to charge this guy. Boom! One shot, one kill. Sirius is a serious melee fighter already. Oh, come on, Lindsay. Hit him. Hit him, Lindsay. Boom!
You're just in time. A bit longer and I'd have been... I don't even want to think about it. Can you imagine what a terrible loss this would have been? But it's all right now. I'm safe, sound and unscathed, ready to lead you to victory. Lady Jamandi is holding the line in the banquet hall. You know, the one where she had us gathered before. We need to make our way to her. And along the way, we'll try to save some of these dummies who are supposed to accompany us to the stolen land.
I don't like your attitude, Tartuccio.
Speaking of dummies, take this ring. Quiet now, so that little fool doesn't hear us. She might try to steal it herself. It's magical. It'll protect you. You'll need it while you work to defend me.
So we received a magical ring. Tartuccio's present, a fancy golden signet ring with an intricate monogram, a personal gift from Tartuccio to Sirius. Wearing this item grants a +1 bonus to armor class. It's a deflection bonus that does not stack with other deflection bonuses, but it takes our AC to 16. Alright, we know about equipping equipment. Let's head in here and see what we can find. Companions. There are several companions in your party now. To select a single character, click on their portrait or press a corresponding Alt key. To select multiple characters at once, give them the same order. Draw a frame around them while holding down the left mouse button, or press G to select them all. Got 4 gold coins and a copper ring. I apologize for the noise outside. I picked the perfect time to do road work or whatever they're doing out there. Alright, we've got a longbow, worth 19. A dagger, bloodstone, merchant will pay well for gems, so we'll take these 3. I don't know if that's considered a chaotic action, doing stuff like that. Here's someone who's dead. He's got incense, a valuable luxury item merchants will pay for. Oh, and let's see what's in the bookshelf. 14 gold, an old map of Avestan, a merchant will pay well for it, and the Curse of House Iobario. So let's go ahead, take a moment to read the books. The Curse of Ancient Iobario by Hastef Ume. Tell us, O teacher, why would Brevoy call us barbarians in the books you give us? The gods became angry with our homeland, my son. This land was devoured so many great empires, as if it was unwilling to bear life. There are centuries-old ruins around our settlement. They were ravaged by a star that fell from the sky. The kingdom of the Cyclopes was the first victim of its curse. New settlers claimed this land 10 centuries later to establish a beautiful country named Iobaria, which stretched from the Lake of Mists and Veils to the Kestrovan Sea. But the curse still lay upon these lands, and trouble came once again. Our ancestors suffered numerous maladies. The tear plague, the char death, the choking death, one after another, leaving only pain behind. People say that Ode of the Necromancer was to blame. But who knows? A great civilization was turned to dust. This is why I'm teaching you. Brevois shouldn't make fun of you who call you barbarians. Alright, I'm going to be quick saving a lot because there's going to be a lot of restarts, I'm sure. We don't want the daggers. I guess we come down here. I remember this being a tough fight. Three of them.
We should prepare.
Now it would be nice to have the hypnotism spell, but let's hit them with, the sleep spell. Alright, someone's hypnotized. Let's charge this guy. Advanced combat. Lindsay and Tartuccio are capable of casting spells. To use the spell, click on its icon in the action panel or in the spells menu, then click on the target, the companion or an enemy, depending on the desired effect. For clerics, druids, magi, paladins, rangers, and wizards, spells are prepared in advance and expended when cast. The character must then rest before casting it again. Bards, inquisitors, and sorcerers can use their spells several times per day, but their spell repertoire is limited. Spells have various characteristics such as range, duration, school, etc. To view the spells available to a character, open their spellbook by pressing B. When a character acquires a new spell or ability, it automatically appears in the first free slot on their action panel. For spontaneous casters, it happens as soon as they get it. For casters who have to prepare their spells, it happens when they prepare it for the first time. If you remove a spell from the action panel, it won't appear there automatically again. Most characters have usable abilities, which may be limited to a certain number of charges. To use an ability, click on the icon in the action panel of the Special Abilities menu, and then on a target. Some abilities do not require targeting, can be switched on and off. Attacks of opportunity. Some actions performed close to an armed opponent can provoke an additional attack upon a character even when it's not the opponent's turn. Such actions include, among other things, casting spells, attempting to move away from an opponent, or shooting ranged weapons. Tactical time flow. By holding down Shift plus space while the game is paused, you can make time move slowly for better combat control. Ooh, she one-shot killed them. Oh, they're all hypnotized, it looks like. Boom! We are not doing bad on challenging. Let's just stab this guy. He must be hypnotized. I think that's the halo around his head. He's not doing much. Oh. Boom! We got him with an attack of opportunity. Each character has a certain number of hit points. When a character's HP drops to 0, they lose consciousness. After combat is over, the character will get up and be controlled again. A character's HP value can drop into negative numbers. A character can survive some negative hit points, but their amount becomes equal to their constitution score. The character dies. To resurrect them, you need a special spell. So with that, by turning on Death's Door, it means that even if I get an attack that is more than my constitution score, that character will just be disabled, but if it happens again, the character's dead. So it's just like a second chance, because it's easy to die in the game. To restore lost hit points, you can use healing spells, potions, or rest. Healing potions can be bought from merchants or obtained as trophies after combat. Healing spells are accessible to the following classes: Bard, Druid, Cleric, Inquisitor, Paladin, and Ranger. To use expendable items such as scrolls, potions, and rods, open a character's inventory and place them in the quick slots on their belt. Return to the main screen and click the belt button on the action panel to access these items. You cannot use an expendable item on the inventory screen. Oh, so we've got a lot of stuff here. Alright, so we'll take some potions of cure wounds, moderate wounds, light wounds. Probably going to leave that stuff behind because we want to travel light. So let's go ahead and equip some of these on the belt. Forward we go. I can't believe it. That could have been us. Well, their adventures have certainly come to an end. And I'm still kind of fretting over that feat choice I made. Oh no, is everyone dead? Pathetic. They couldn't even defend themselves, but they thought they could conquer the stolen lands. Empty notebook. Some gold coins. So I'm gonna have to make up for that feat a little bit. I don't know what they're doing outside, but it's ridiculous. A couple trout for cooking, and a bunch of food. Butter, fowl, edible moss. Cooking Almanac of the Inner Sea by Jubilus Narthropple. Let's check out the cooking book. Told you I'm going to read everything. It is perhaps Avastan's most popular dish. In the capital of Chiliax, it is baked in a cheese crust and sprinkled with lemon juice. The local fishermen use different cooking methods in Quadira, which is the opposite end of Avastan. There you will find it finely chopped and mixed cold ingredients. The exact origin of the dish remains unknown, but it's generally believed to have been invented in Andorran and spread around the globe by seafarers and pilgrims. It's served as plain pâté in the most basic version. To prepare it, soak the herring in a spiced marinade, then mince it into a spreadable paste. Add a mashed tart green apple, hard-boiled quail eggs, the freshest butter you can find, and half an onion. The list of ingredients may vary in the inland regions. In the regions of Nermathus, beef or lamb is used for this snack. I once tasted a highly original and equally highly disgusting version cooked with milk and mushrooms on the border of Druma. Does not sound all that tasty. Let us continue. Silver ring, some gold.
It's the end for you rats!
Alright, let me charge in there. Tag that assassin. That is charge, right?
Eludes me.
Got a Miri, who we met earlier. Boom! Good job, Miri.
Oh, it's you. Stay up from under my feet or I'll strike you down.
Barbarian's face is distorted with rage. She grinds her teeth and sweat drips from her forehead. Noticing Tartuccio, she swings her sword but stops it just in time.
Blood for Gorum!
Swinging her bloody sword, she runs toward the sound of battle.
I think that's exactly how heroes should be.
What, stupid, sweaty, and always looking for something to gobble up or lop the head off of? Calistria, save me from such heroes.
I don't like your attitude, Tartuccio. There they are, the assassins. This is your last chance. Drop your weapons and we'll spare your lives. So generous. I'm afraid I can't offer the same courtesy. Hey, you ugly mug, get them. What in hell's name is that? Well, that was quick.
Let us be careful.
Oh, we can't let their stuff go to waste. Enlarge person. Wounds. The passage is blocked. You can't make it through this way. Skill check. Sometimes interacting with an object requires a skill check. A successful skill may be needed for a variety of tasks: unlocking a door, opening a chest, disabling a trap, moving a heavy object, reading an inscription in an ancient language, etc. Different skills are used for different checks. If multiple characters are selected at once, the character with the highest skill bonus will perform the action. Some skill traps, like trap disarming, can be attempted multiple times. Others, like unlocking doors or spotting hidden things, can only be retried after a character raises their skill rank. Some items and spells can give the character a bonus to a skill check, but applying this bonus doesn't give you a chance to retry a failed check. This heavy gate is securely locked. Alright, so if we select everybody and select dexterity,
Please.
Lindsay
Can
got
you
us
make an
through.
epic pose? I need inspiration.
Let me charge head first. Boom. Boom. Not doing too bad. More potions. I'll take a bow. It's worth 8. Alright, so I do want to check something in the options. About show. Oh, Invincible Kingdom. I'll probably turn that on, but highlight hotkey. Show enemy HP on mouse hover. I like that. Enemy name. Actions on mouse hover. Enemy intentions. Cooldown timers for enemies. Alright. Show intentions of party members on pause. No, on mouse. Yeah, on pause. Spellcasting intentions on pause. Cooldown timers and selection. Oh, that should be on highlight hotkey. So if I press tab, it'll show me that stuff. Alright, let us continue now. He's a little wounded. She can cure light wounds. Perfect. +5.
The path is clear.
An armory. I'm sure Jumanji wouldn't mind if we borrowed some weapons.
Anything else?
Lindsay unlocked it, so this is the armory. Oh, those are worth 100.
I'll go ahead.
I'll collect those, and I think Masterwork, Light Mace. We're doing pretty good with what we have. Banded Mail, heavy armor, 35 pounds. I'm not going to grab that. Breastplate, medium armor, 30 pounds. Let me try that out. 25, but 6 armor class. Let's put that on. So we have a 25% arcane spell failure, which is a bummer. Watchkeeper's Key, a small key that opens the northern wing of the mansion. Lindsay. Tower shield. No, thank you.
What have we here? This chest is full of gold. I guess it's for the guards' salaries, all things considered. Well, those freeloaders don't seem to have been working too hard for it. Maybe we should pocket it instead.
What now?
No, we're heroes, not thieves.
Who said we were stealing it? We'll just take the gold for safety so the assassins don't get it. And then we can heroically return it to Jumanji when this is all over.
gold. Interesting. How much?
Take a look.
Are you out of your minds? We're in the middle of a battle. Blood flowing in rivers as an army of assassins chases us. And you want us to rob our host? A noble feat, to be sure.
We won't even look inside. I don't even know why I said how much. Encumbrance. Each character can carry a limited amount of weight based on their strength score. Each character carries the weight of their personal equipment as well as a part of the party's shared stash. 3 stages of encumberment: light, medium, and heavy. Medium and heavy burden the character, limiting their abilities in battle. You can see the penalties a character is currently suffering due to their carried weight by pointing at the encumbrance gauge under the character's equipment window. So we're light. We have no penalty. So is everyone else. Alright, so we have to come up here.
Oh, familiar faces. I hope you're not so frightened as to swing at every shadow. It's me, Jaethal. I don't recommend advancing down the hallway, assuming you value your life, of course. There were a few people with me, and you can see what happened to them.
And just how did they all end up dead while you don't seem to have a scratch?
Carcuccio's eyes Jaethal suspiciously.
I'll answer but briefly and just once. Further scares and explanations will wait until we aren't being hunted by a group of assassins. Deal? All right. I'm undead. These traps are deadly to the living, but they're harmless to me.
What do you mean undead? Really? Like zombies or skeletons or...
As I said, further explanations will wait until later. All you need to know right now is that we're on the same side, and we have to fight off a small army of hired assassins. Let's get to it.
Awesome, so we have Jaethal, so let's... Okay. You'll encounter many traps on your adventures. Whenever your characters approaches the trap, they'll automatically make a perception skill check. On success, you'll see the trap's location and the game will automatically pause. Traps vary in effect as well as difficulty to detect. Having identified a trap, you can click on it in order to order one of the characters to make a trickery skill check to disable it. On success, the trap will be disabled. On failure, it will remain in place. However, if the result on a skill roll is less than the trap's difficulty by 5 or more, the trap will go off as if the character had triggered it. All results can be found in the combat log. Alright, so let's alter this formation. Let's get Jaethal up front with me, Asirius, and get them in back. Quick save. I'm a quick save fiend. And onward we go. I don't think it's evil to steal in certain cases, but I thought it'd be cool if it was. Carved beads.
Look here! Look here!
Lindsay's our trickery artist.
Applause, please.
How curious. How curious.
Very tricksy.
Applause, please.
The chainmail's worth a lot, but I think it's going to encumber us, so let me check. Yep, we're medium, so let's drop the chainmail. Now we're back to light. Scroll of Shield of Faith. The spell creates a shimmering magical field around the target that averts and deflects attacks, grants a +2 deflection bonus to AC with an additional +1 to the bonus for every 6 levels you have. And a Scroll of Bless fills your allies with courage. Each ally gains a +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and saving throws against fear. You found a scroll, a single-use item that allows you to use the spell that's written upon it. For a character to use it, that character must have the use magic device skill, or be class specific, which eventually learn to cast a spell. For convenience, it's best to place things like scrolls in a character's quick slots. So let's do that. Lindsay, I believe, can use magic device. She can bless the party if needed. She also has Cure Moderate and Cure Light. And she can use Shield of Faith, even though I have a higher use magic device. What are you dallying for? I'm telling you, Jumandi's cache has to be around here somewhere. Oh, hurry up. Stop, someone's coming.
Learn how
Yes,
to
I'll
use
charge
it
it that way.
first.
Oh, I guess not. Charge. I'm gonna get out behind the wall before casting that there. Tartuccio. There you go. What did they say about a cache? Curious. Find and open a cache in Sword Lord Jormandi on Dory's mansion. Potions. Let's give her some potions. She has a scroll of Expeditious Retreat and a scroll of Divine Favor. Calling upon the strength and wisdom of a deity, you gain a +1 luck on attack and weapon damage rolls for every 3 caster levels. And that scroll is caster level 1. This spell increases your base speed by 30 feet. These adjustments treated as an enhancement bonus, no effect on other modes of movement such as burrow, climb, fly, or swim. Let's give her a couple potions. And
everyone counts on me.
That's it.
Let's head out.
Oh, what's that? Silver disc. A merchant would pay well for it. And a rusty horseshoe. Merchant will pay 1 gold for it. So this is a tricky puzzle. I apologize if I take 6 hours on this puzzle alone, but let's see.
Our duty calls.
Let's see if we can do this.
I don't tolerate fools.
The road awaits.
Dang it.
We should prepare.
Just letting the ink dry.
Let us bide our time.
Share your will.
Anything is possible.
You have my attention.
I shall not fail.
Enlighten me.
Request.
I wrote it like I saw it.
Everyone counts on me.
My patience is running thin. I deserve better.
Relax, Tartuccio.
The undead is such a frivolous term. I prefer immortal,
Our duty
eternal,
calls.
And Lindsay was
everlasting.
called forth.
The road awaits.
Adventures call to them.
State your desire.
Time's wasting.
So close.
Just letting the ink dry. And so they walked on.
Speak.
No, Lindsay, go back there.
You have my attention.
So, let's see here.
Anything is possible.
Well, we opened one. It's not the same one I opened the first time. Carved figurine, decorated scabbard, shining scale, a bright bauble. Silver chain, a wooden plate, some gold. Silver medallion, a beautiful piece of jewelry. Old map of Adistan, wooden mug. Oh, potion of removed blindness, and a gate gem, and a citrine gem. Alright, so there's another one down here if you get all of the things to close. Or all of the hands to go down, I should say.
I don't tolerate fools.
Which will probably be another impossible task.
And Lindsay was called forth.
Let us bide our time.
Oh, there it is. We've opened both secret caches. Empty notebook. Oh, wand of magic missile. Ring. Carved urn. And gold. Alright, so we'll give the wand to Lindsay since she's in the back row. She can use it with a skill check. Well, that was easier than it was the first time for me. Now we continue.
Learn how to use it first.
I wonder why she can't charge, but she does have bleeding touch. As a melee touch attack, can cause a living creature to take 1d6 points of damage per round. Use bleeding touch. And the wand of magic missile has 11 charges. Use it on him. You charge this one, and don't use bleeding touch, just attack.
This can't be over.
Oh no. This is bad. Quickly, kill the assassin. Oh no, 2 characters down. Someone's shooting us with a bow.
Leave this one to me.
Protect me, please.
This assassin Bowman.
Serves you right.
Come on, Tartuccio, what spells do you have?
Miserable. Last chapter.
Oh, we're in trouble now. Yep, we're in trouble now. Give him a jolt. This moment's tough. Oh, use magic missile. I didn't even know he had it. Burning hands. Keep casting it. Cast it again. Whew. That was rough. I've got to be more careful. Use my spells. Alright. This is it. My time has come. Oh, Grotus, take my soul. Alright, I gotta cure some wounds here.
What troubles you?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot she's undead. Oops. Not a good start here. She can't use potions, she can't, so we just take those off. Everyone else needs potions to heal.
Adventures call to them.
Request.
So Jaethal should have inflict minor wounds, which actually heals her. Alright, Grotus, what's going on here?
Grotus.
I mean, Harem.
I can sense your silhouette hovering over me. It won't be much longer. Soon we shall meet, O Lord of Oblivion.
Alright, and we're back. So, dialogue skill check. Sometimes skills are checked over the course of dialogue. For example, when trying to convince a character of something. The check result will determine the way the dialogue develops. The character in the party with the highest bonus in the desired skill is usually used to determine such a check. So, let's ask Harem, what's wrong?
I'm dying. I knew this expedition was doomed. Oh, Grotus, my vision darkens.
So, I'm gonna try this. Aren't you being a bit premature? Look at yourself. You've barely got a scratch.
That's impossible.
We succeeded.
Oh, it seems you might be right. It seems I will live. I suppose I must postpone meeting my god, not for long, I'm sure. But while we remain in this transient world, Arim is at your service.
Spell conversion. Clerics and druids can convert their spells spontaneously. A cleric of good alignment doesn't need to prepare healing spells. They can spend almost any prepared spell to cast a cure spell at the same level. In the same way, a cleric of evil alignment doesn't need to prepare inflict spells. During character creation, clerics of neutral alignment can choose whether their converted spells cure or inflict. A druid can convert almost any prepared spell into a summon nature's ally of the same level. So I don't know how that works exactly, but onwards. Let's have our 3 people up here. To Joe and Lindsay. Oh, did I not check their bodies? I did, I just didn't want anything they were carrying. Although, we probably have a higher encumbrance weight now. No, we're close to it. 5 more pounds. Formations. Group formation is half of any victory. The formation system will help you hold the line in combat. Click this button to select the standard formations or also create your own. So I've created my own. by this beautiful fountain. Ah, guards. Let's explore a bit though. Keston, what news have you?
Run and get an axe. You, bring more water. You, stay here and hold our defense. Those assassins are still around here somewhere.
The stout man's unshaven face is covered with scars. There's blood on his armor, but he doesn't even seem to notice his wounds as he confidently gives orders to the guards.
You'll have to run through the fire. We've almost put it out at the entrance, so your main concern should be to not inhale any smoke. Hold your breath and take the first right, then head straight down the hallway.
I accidentally double-clicked. But he said he turns to you. Aha! Some of our guests survived. Good. You need to get to the banquet hall and help Lady Jamandi. Who are you?
Keston, House Garess, a fighter in the service of Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori. Right now, I'm in charge of the mansion guards. As you can see, there's a lot to do.
So House Garess is based on the western part of Brevoy in the foothills of the Golushkin Mountains. It is led by Lord Howland Garess, who is a widower. His adoptive heir is Toval Goka, a dwarf and son of the clan chief of the Golga Dwarves Holding. House Garess had a good relationship with the Golga dwarves until the dwarves vanished. Members of the house worked the metal the dwarves mined. The house's motto is strong as the mountains.
Someone opened the gate, let in a group of assassins in the middle of the night. Now they've set the mansion on fire to cut off access to the hall. They don't want Lady Jamandi to get reinforcements. We cleared the passage so you can get through. Just try to avoid inhaling the smoke. We'll be right behind you. We just need to put out the fire first to save the mansion.
Do you need help putting out the fire?
No, we'll manage. I've got my best people here, those who still live. Your place is by Lady Aldori's side.
It doesn't seem right. What if some of the guards are wounded? We need to help them.
I'll go immediately.
May Abadar keep you safe.
So I'm going to quick save here. We have to go through the fire. This is interesting. Alright, illustrated book episodes. Some game events play out as illustrated book episodes. The decisions you make during these episodes can have a drastic impact on the development of the game's plot. As with dialogue, you will often need to make various skill checks during these episodes. Depending on the circumstances, sometimes you will need to choose one of your party members to perform an action. Sometimes an action will be automatically performed by the character with the highest skill bonus. And so our adventure started, earlier and much more tragic than we'd expected. The whole team who'd gathered in the hall yesterday had been reduced to but a handful of brave souls led by Asirius, and not at all by that scoundrel Tartuccio, no matter what he might have imagined of himself. Jamandi Aldori was waiting for us, but to get to her we'd have to march through fire, literally. As we approached the burning building, we drenched ourselves with buckets of water. Prudence is the key to victory. Before moving through the fire, we thoroughly wet our clothes and hair. After that, we covered our noses and mouths before we rushed inside. There's no time to waste. It's a good thing we hadn't wasted any time. After entering the building and taking just a few steps forward, the wall behind us slanted and crashed down with a terrible crackling sound, blocking the way back. While we may not have planned on going back, if we'd come in a little later, the flaming logs and red-hot bricks would have fallen right on our heads. Regardless, we were left with only one way to go. The hot air burned our lungs, and our eyes watered from the smoke, but Asirius led us stubbornly through the flames, while Tartuccio did nothing useful at all. We made it to the hallway leading to the banquet hall when we heard someone calling for us. It was Valerie, one of the guards I'd chatted with a bit in the banquet hall. Even then, in that calm setting, I'd been stunned by her beauty. But now, amid the smoke and flame, she looked like a celestial avenger, an armored deity, menacing but beautiful and merciful, descending from the higher spheres to help us poor mortals. She held a burned, barely living guard in her arms. "There are two more," she shouted as she passed by us. "They are wounded. Help me pull them out." Tartuccio grumbled something about how Jamandi was waiting for us. Meanwhile, Asirius... We're gonna rush to save the guards from the fire. Succeeded. Saving the poor fellows didn't take long. Together we lifted them up and carried them away from the fire. Only then did Valerie pause to catch her breath and wipe the sweat from her face. "Thank you, that was truly noble of you," she said. "And now let us rush to Lady Aldori's side." Ensuring the guards we rescued were relatively safe, we made our way to the hall where the battle was already in full swing. Conditions. One of your characters is fatigued. This is just one of the negative conditions that can affect you during the game. To notify that your character is under the effect of a condition, a symbol will appear near their portrait. To find out more about the character's condition, open the character screen. Alright, so Valerie is fatigued, cannot charge, and takes a -2 penalty to strength and dexterity. Doing anything that would normally cause fatigue causes the fatigued character to become exhausted. After complete rest, fatigued characters are no longer fatigued.
I am your shield.
So I'll get more into their spells and abilities, like Harem
Share your
and Jaethal later, because this is just kind of the tutorial prologue. So let's do something like this. Build a wall here with our 4 melee characters. Guards, you okay? Oh, I thought I was a goner. If I ever get my hands on that arsonist.
I'll go ahead.
Quick save fiend. Uncollected loot. When you leave a location, you can review uncollected loot from defeated enemies and decide if you want to take it or leave it behind. Loot from other sources such as plants, chests, and hidden stashes have to be collected manually. There's nothing we want, we're already medium. But since we're medium, I mean, we might as well take the banded mail, because it's worth money, and maybe the chainmail.
Give the order.
So Valerie is a lawful neutral fighter. We'll get into this more too. What she's good at and what she does. She's got a Masterwork Bastard Sword and a Tower Shield. And we'll give her a couple potions to use. Harem has Scroll of Cure Light Wounds, Inflict Light Wounds. We'll give him a potion to use. Quick save again, and once I finish this, this will be the end of the episode, so let's head on out to the banquet hall and see what the fuss is about. Reinforcements are on the way. Say your prayers, scum. Oh, Jumanji Odori. Wow, there's a lot of them.
Unworthy.
Everyone counts on me. This spell eludes me.
Don't let them through. Jumanji dies tonight. Probably handle this just with auto attacks. Assassin leader, charge him. Comes Miri to help. Let's have her inflict light wounds on herself. Dead. Pretty well on auto here. Got a full party plus Amiri. Boom. In your faces, jerk. Praise be Aristo, we made it. That's it. Time to count our losses, I suppose. Oh good, we've got some good stuff to pick up. Assassin leader had a potion of bark skin, enchanted bracers, some alchemist fire, and some acid flasks. So these, you can throw a flask of acid as a splash weapon with a range increment of 10 feet. A direct hit deals 1d6 points of acid. Every creature within 5 feet of the point where the acid hits takes 1 point of acid damage from the splash. Same kind of, we'll check the fire stuff too. Let's check the alchemist fire. With a 5-foot burst centered on target point in close range, you can throw a flask of Alchemist Fire as a splash weapon within a range of 30 feet. A direct hit deals 1d6 points of fire. Every creature within 5 feet of the point where the flask hits takes 1 point of fire damage from the splash. On the round following a direct hit, the target takes an additional 1d6 points of damage. So pretty neat. Oh, let's loot this brute. Frost Giant. I'll leave that stuff.
Thank you for your valor and bravery. The enemy was strong, but you were stronger. And that means I made the right choice. Just as I thought, there were worthy leaders among you. I'm especially grateful to them for the courage and common sense they showed while defending the mansion. But this attack means we have even less time than I thought. Someone already knows of our plans and is acting against us. You'll begin your expedition immediately.
Lady Aldori, please, I know who arranged this attack. The vile king of Pitax, Iroveti. What's more, I know who among us works for him. Hey, you! Show everyone the ring you're wearing. You think I wouldn't recognize Iroveti's seal? That's why he wasn't killed. The bandits recognized him as one of their own by this secret ring.
Pass the knowledge world check. I have no connections to Pitax, but Tartuccio's name, accent, and clothes seem like he came straight from there. Which of us looks more like he might be Iroveti's spy?
Probably, yes. But this evidence is circumstantial at best. There's definitely a spy among us. But who? All I have is one word against another. I'm afraid you're both under suspicion.
I bet my life despise anyone but this man. I saw how he dealt with those creeps with my own eyes. A true warrior. I'd go with him through hell and high water. This purple crook, on the other hand, he's got the eyes of a spy and the mug of a spy.
Lady Aldori, don't listen to this thick-headed barbarian. She doesn't know what she's talking about. During the attack, our leader showed his true colors. He forced us to break into the armory and rob it.
Moral choices. Sometimes your character has to make difficult decisions relying on their conscience or lack thereof. Such decisions impact your character's alignment, gradually shifting your character toward good or evil, lawful or chaotic. Some dialogues feature special options that are available only to characters with certain alignments. So I'm gonna say, forgive me for my trespass. In my defense, we're in the middle of a battle and in dire need
Considering
of
the
weapons.
circumstances, that was more than reasonable.
That was a sound decision. Sometimes one must act at one's own risk and peril, until crossing the boundaries of what is allowed. Showing initiative is no crime.
It is insane when faced with death to stop and question whether you may be breaking some law or rule. Even more insane would be to ask forgiveness for making the right decision. Sorry, but your words display a lack of wisdom.
What about that trick he pulled right before we came in here? He knew very well you were fighting the enemy, but instead of rushing to help you, he dallied as long as he could, dropping everything to save people from the fire, even though the guards were handling things just fine. He was obviously hoping to show up too late and find you already dead.
People were dying right in front of me. How could I just walk
Trying to
by?
save others is commendable, but Tartuccio's right.
Failed.
You were needed here more.
May Shellen spare me from ever having to make such a choice, but he behaved decently as a true leader.
A true leader is someone who has their priorities straight, not someone who would put a valuable ally's life in danger for the sake of some servant.
Lady Aldori, most of those who were to set off for the stolen lands have been killed. Those who yet live will require help. Please allow me to join the expedition.
So Jamandi said, enough squabbling. I'm still not sure which of you I can trust. However, the risk of entrusting this whole affair to a spy is too great. Here's what we'll do. 2 teams will head out. One will be headed by Tartuccio, the other by Asterius. That way I'll know at least one group can be counted on to serve my interests in the stolen
I'm
lands.
sad to lose such a talented warrior. But you're right, Mallory. They have greater need of you right now. Go, and may Abadar keep you. Which of the two teams would you prefer to accompany?
Abadar, the god of cities, laws, merchants, and wealth, also called the god of walls and ditches in the Eastern Dragon Empires, is known to be a patient deity. Maintaining a strong neutral stance in his actions, he sets forth to expand civilization and order among the peoples of Galeria.
I would join his team. He seems a worthy commander in my eyes.
Commanders, military leaders, all these laws and rules are but dust and vanity. I suppose I will accompany Tartuccio.
Hiram considered the sentiments you revealed in conversation with Jamandi and found in them a pointless insistence on the letter of the law. He found this foolish. So
Our
he's
leader
accompanying
is good in
Tartuccio.
battle, but I don't like all the spiritual agonizing. I prefer those who can act without wasting time helping every little pipsqueak. Those like Tartuccio.
Jay thought considered the thoughts you shared in your conversation, and she found too much pointless kindness. She was
Tartuccio's going to
unimpressed.
take the credit for himself and be done with it. Shellen, spare me from such allies. I'm going with you. You're a hero worthy of my quill.
I don't even need to think. I'm coming with this man. As for you, Purpletail, just wait until we meet along the way. I'll be sure to hang your rotten spy guts from the trees.
All right, we have two teams. To avoid unnecessary conflict on the road, you'll each take a different route to the Stolen Lands. Tartuccio's team will go through Navacta's crossing. The garrison commandant will provide him all the help he needs. You will take your team to Oleg Leviton's trading post. He's been complaining about the Stag Lord's bandits for a while now. There, you'll be provided with all the necessary travel supplies.
Alright, so Tartuccio's going through Navatka's Crossing, is a village at the very southern edge of Rosslyn, protected by a wooden palisade and walls surrounding it. The South Rosslyn Road runs through the village, as does the road leading to the newly established settlement at Varnhold. This place is home to trappers, anglers, hunters, and tradesmen. The locals are a serious bunch and very suspicious of strangers, especially those from the stolen lands. We'll be going to Oleg's trading post. This abandoned border fort at the southern edge of Rosslyn found a new life recently. Oleg and Svetlana Levitin, a couple from Rostov, rebuilt it into a trading post. This place is now one of the few hospitable shelters for travelers in
I'd
the
like to
surrounding
believe you,
wilderness.
but I know all too well how convincing traitors and spies can be. If you're truly innocent, I hope you can forgive me this precaution. While you're away, Keston will investigate the night's events and learn who in Rostov is working for Patox. But you should know that it isn't just Patox we need to worry about. The royal house of Sertova may also interfere in our plans. I've managed to keep this affair a secret from them so far, but that can't last long. By my estimations, you have no more than 3 months. After that, any feats you accomplish will be pointless.
So we have 3 months to capture the stolen lands. Who's Pitax? Long a haven for thieves and smugglers, Pitax is a hub of trade in the River Kingdoms. It aspires to be a center of culture and higher learning as well, but cannot escape its more unsavory origins. And the royal house Sertova, the current ruling family of Brevoy, is also the oldest Brevik noble family and the most influential. Their original holdings are the environs of Port Ice in northern Issia on the shores of the Lake of Mists and Veils. The Sertovas are known as careful and cunning diplomats. Before Coral the Conqueror invaded, the Sertovas were known as pirates and raiders, and the family still has many connections with the pirates and brigands of the region, many of whom are distant relations of the Sertova clan. Their family motto is, "Ours is the right."
Farewell. This battle was but the first ordeal along your path, and you overcame it as true champions of Rostov. May the obstacles that follow also fall to your feet. Fear nothing, my friends, and return victorious.
So that ends the tutorial, I'm pretty sure. The prologue.
Surviving a terrible night, our small team set off to brave our fate. Beware, stolen lands. Heroes are on the way.
And we're now in Chapter 1, Stolen Land, with 3 months to complete our objectives. Alright, so this is map movement. This is a map of the stolen lands and their vicinity. To set out, click on one of the arrows near your party token. You can learn the whereabouts of significant locations by talking to characters or happening upon them during your journey. After learning about a location, you must find the way there yourself. Along the way, random encounters await. You may be attacked by monsters or you may meet new acquaintances. After exiting the location of a random encounter, you'll not be able to return there. So here we are. I'm going to save here. And call this, nope, that's not what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call this episode 1 of an epic Let's Play. So I hope you all join me for episode 2. Keep in mind these videos are not going to be, they're going to be made earlier, so you're going to see them at a later time. I'm going to try to maybe just stick to making 2 videos a day and just playing maybe 2 hours a day, but that's going to be kind of tough because I like the game. So you may end up seeing videos on one day, a video that I made a few days prior. So if you ask me or put input in the comments and it's something I've already done, then I apologize for that, but I'll try to stick to that. So smash that like button if you like this Let's Play and want to see it continue. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And in the next episode, we'll head off for Oleg's trading post and start exploring this wonderful world of the Stolen Land. So until then, thanks for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.